Welcome, listeners, to the abyss of the airwaves, where the shadows of television past, present, and future converge. This is the TV Tuners Podcast, your unofficial guide to the vast sea of television, and I'm your host, Dark Swanson. Now, you might be wondering, why the Dark moniker? Well, that tale is as grim and as it is tangled. Once upon a time, I was just an ordinary man, a TV enthusiast like any other, but that was before the incident. I was wrongly convicted, entangled in a shadowy conspiracy, accused of prematurely revealing the finale of the most popular TV series of the decade, causing a public uproar, sparking mass protests, and allegedly costing the network millions. All a cruel setup, of course. Then came the TV prison. A black hole for the allegedly guilty. Its walls lined with static-filled screens blaring relentless reruns. 3 grueling years of my life, lost in its Kafka-esque depths. That's where I met them. My co-hosts, Kiorein and Stairmaster. They saw through the lies, recognized my innocence, and together, we orchestrated the greatest prison break in television history. Now, we're on a mission, exposing the underbelly of the TV industry, critiquing, discussing, dissecting, to give you, our listeners, the real, unfiltered truth. So, tune in, tune out, and join us as we navigate this labyrinth of televised tales. This is the TV Tuners Podcast. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and my roommate, who's a fun conspiracy theorist, Stairmaster.
Hey, Swanson, I think you might be a UFO.
I mean, I'm not like a UFO or anything, buddy. I'm just from another planet. Oh, wait. No, I'm not. I'm normal. I'm a human.
I've been looking up your connections to John F. Kennedy Jr.
Oh, well, no need to look that up. It's just perfectly normal business, as always.
Actually, that might be a very funny hook when Lex Luthor finally shows up.
That Superman killed JFK?
No, just him making spurious connections to other conspiracy-ladded figures.
Yeah. I did look it up, and it doesn't seem like he's appeared yet, but I guess there's a whole season still playing out. With us, as always, of course, our other co-host and newspaper editor who is very gruff and annoyed with our antics.
No, you're doing it all wrong. I don't want to listen to you.
It's true. He hates us.
Why have you turned my newspaper into a house of lies?
Yeah, like when I see, I'm like the opposite of J. Jonah Jameson. I don't want pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, you want the opposite. You don't want any pictures of Superman. None.
Well, to be fair, the pictures originally offered were very shitty.
It's true. It's like if Peter Parker walked into J. Jonah Jameson's office and gave him like some real shitty photos of Spider-Man, he probably
let's give him a big red.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite.
Red square.
Peter Parker was a talented photographer, and he gave the pictures, and then he wanted them and wanted more of them. This is like they gave him garbage ones and he didn't want them. But also, he just...
Yeah. That's a strange choice, too, because I thought Jimmy Olsen was supposed to be like a good photographer. Or is the joke just that Superman's too fast?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. He seemed to think that he was able to get the picture, so that would imply that he was moving in a way that he was detectable by the human eye, though, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, that means he's not moving faster than light.
I mean, our eye has like a limited frame rate as it is.
Welcome to another exciting edition of TV Tuners. We're back again, talking about shows that everyone loves, and all of the stuff in between. Of course, if you're listening and you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, otherwise, well, you can send them to us at our email address, and we'll read them aloud on the podcast. That's right. All you got to do is send it over to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kiorein?
televisiontuner@podcast.org.
That's right. You could be like Gio, who sent us this email. Dark Swanson, Endless Sonata.
What?
Boys, you struck gold. Everyone is demanding more Dark Swanson. You have the late millennial Disney adult demo on lock. Time to saturate.
I don't want that.
We need a Dark Swanson TV show, a Dark Swanson serial, a Dark Swanson biopic, a Dark Swanson cologne, and you gotta pitch your audience on all of them right now before they get distracted by the next piece of dumbass bullshit.
What is he talking about?
Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it. Gio.
Yeah, what is this Dark Swanson stuff? I've never heard of it.
I'm just as confused as you guys, to be honest with you. I mean, I just put the stuff together on the podcast. I'm not really sure I ever heard about this Dark Swanson guy.
Yeah, who is Dark Swanson?
I mean, like, I'm here. I'm Swanson. I don't know who Dark Swanson is. I don't...
Swanson, like, you're being real sketchy, honestly.
What?
Me? I am with you. I have no idea who this person is.
The way you're describing how you don't know who Dark Swanson is suggests that you do know who Dark Swanson is.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I mean, where you guys live with me? Wouldn't you know if I was going and doing something?
So if I said I don't know who Gorbino is, you would immediately assume that I know who Gorbino is.
I would ask you who Gorbino is.
Gorbino,
you're the one who just brought up Gorbino.
I don't know.
Like, if you had no idea who Gorbino was, I don't think you'd be mentioning Gorbino.
Anyway, like Gio's email said, we need a Gorbino TV show, a Gorbino serial, a Gorbino biopic.
Gorbino's Quest.
Yeah, so
we gotta start pitching this stuff to our fans, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna start
like witness the epic Gorbino
I'm gonna start investigating like all these new topics, Dark Swanson, Gorbino, and I think I'm gonna make some kind of interesting fusion of the two.
Dark Gorbino.
Swanbino.
Dark Gorbino, who has mastered the killing Hado.
Yeah. So I really appreciate this email, Gio. You give me a lot to think about.
Yeah, a lot to think about, a lot to discuss. Thank you again, Gio, for that wonderful email. I'm sure we've done everything you asked of us to do.
Yes.
And with all that out of the way, what'd you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting? Something you want to talk about?
Yeah,
no.
I'm in honor of the strike. I have not been...
In solidarity with the writers and the actors, you're just not watching anything?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I just played Sonic Frontiers instead.
Ooh.
Oh, how is that?
It's fun.
All right.
I like Sonic. He's fast and cool.
Good. You watch the cutscenes. How are the cutscenes?
Well, they're there.
Uh-oh.
They exist in the game?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There is a mechanic where you just go up to the hologram of Amy and you hold out your hand and a bunch of hearts shoot out. So you can progress the story.
You're dating Amy in this game?
No, you're just trying to awaken. You're just trying to free her from the computer realm. Yeah, with the memory tokens.
What happens when you do it with Tails is like a bunch of like...
I don't know. I haven't gotten to Tails yet. Maybe.
Does Knuckles like punch you a bunch of times? What happens?
No, Sonic is the one who punches in this game. You can upgrade his combos. You can have him shoot Sonic booms.
Whoa.
I don't know how Sega got away with that.
Sonic the puncher?
Sonic the fighter?
Sonic, he built his hand into a fist?
Yes.
And used it to punch?
Sonic should not be allowed to punch or kick.
Yeah, I thought it was weird too.
Well, kicking maybe. It's kind of built in with his whole deal. But punching?
I guess Sonic does have good legs for kicking with.
Yeah, hey, listen, have you seen the legs on that guy?
I would actually say his legs seem very undeveloped.
Yeah.
Have you seen the legs on that dude?
Stickly.
They don't look like they could kick, but he clearly runs fast, so that means he has good legs.
Yeah, I don't know. His legs look the same as Shadow's legs, and he's the ultimate life form, so really those might be the ideal legs.
Yeah, you may not like it, etc., etc.
Right. This is the peak ultimate life form condition. Anyway, I did watch something.
Oh, here we go again. Watching stuff.
And I'm going to say that I've gone farther than the coward Kiorein ever could because I finished Barry.
Okay. You want to go ahead and spoil that ending for me so I don't have to watch it?
I didn't chicken out. I didn't chicken out until and leave when it got extremely depressing.
Extremely painful.
I watched every last depressing hour of this show.
Was it worth it, Swanson? Did you enjoy the ending?
I mean, did I enjoy it? No. Did it work? Was it exactly how it should go for these characters? Yes.
Okay. So it was not worth it, and you regret watching it.
No, it was good.
Now we gotta make Keel watch it.
Definitely not funny, capital F funny. There's some bits that are funny, but
yeah, there's this guy called NoHo Hank.
Yeah, he still gets up to some funny stuff. But yeah, it's not.
Even
it's
after
good.
the most unforgivable betrayal.
I think it ends exactly as it should.
Badly.
Do you want? Listen, I'm gonna edit it out of the podcast, but I can just tell you what happens, Gio.
No. I mean, if it's not gonna go out over the airwaves, I don't care to hear it.
Wow, what a
well,
hero.
I'm not spoiling it for the entire audience.
Yeah, I really want the whole audience to be spoiled on Barry so they don't watch it.
Oh, are you saying that's a tune out on Barry, Keel?
Well, he did literally tune out on
it. I did literally. Like, at the very end, I tuned out. So, what does that tell you? Yeah. When you
tells me that Keo is a whiner, complainer.
I don't think I complained about it. I think I just said I stopped watching it.
Can't do the work necessary to finish the job.
You didn't finish The Sopranos either.
I quit The Sopranos a lot
just because of one unforgivable betrayal.
Can't finish the greatest TV show of all time, and now he can't finish Barry.
The third greatest TV show of all time.
Yeah, arguably.
Look, yeah, I just don't have the mental capacity for this sad boy stuff. I just don't.
He doesn't have the mental stamina.
Yeah, I don't have the stamina.
Yeah, Keo's sort of like Kirby. He's just a bundle of joy, and you can't expose him to that sort of negativity, or you'll cry.
It's true. Yeah. Anyway,
oh.
I hope you bleep that out.
I'm planning on it.
Man, screw this show. Tune out on Barry.
Anyway, it's exactly the ending it should be.
Yeah, tune in on Barry. Right, Swanson?
As we all predicted the moment we started season 4 of Barry, it ended exactly as we all thought it would. In the exact way.
Detail for detail.
Yes.
All right, with all that out of the way, I guess it's time for some news, huh, guys?
Yeah, there's like catastrophic heat waves ravaging the globe.
True, sort of like the catastrophic heat wave that's ravaging Hollywood, known as the combined writers and actors strike.
How's that going?
Oh, yeah? They're still doing that?
Yeah, they're still doing that. Not only are they still doing that, but I've sort of committed myself to only reporting news related to it. Because who cares about any other entertainment news? It's all bullshit.
But what if, like, George Clooney got into a hostage situation?
I don't know. Is that really
Yeah,
TV
like
news?
That's just regular news.
He was on ER. Yeah, get his ass.
Anyway, I want to talk about important news, like the faith-based TV series The Chosen, which is going to continue filming because it got a waiver from SAG-AFTRA.
Who's SAG-AFTRA? Is that a man?
Yeah, that's right.
Screen actor. That's the Screen Actors Guild.
It's a Gundam character. His name is SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, from Gundam Seed.
It's the Screen Actors Guild Award and something else.
Assortment of fair theater-related activities.
That's right, and I'm sure that's great that the anyway this faith-based show, The Chosen, which, as you might have guessed, is about Jesus.
So they got like a
Jesus and his boys.
They got like a Christ waiver with like a big crucifix on it.
It's actually nicer news than you would expect, which is that they're following all of the guidelines that SAG-AFTRA want for the major studios, so they get a waiver.
Yeah, A24 is also doing that.
Yeah, movies
like
that are following
100th of the money.
Right, which is saying something. Movies that are following the guidelines also are getting waivers. So it's not that this has been misconstrued by sites like Deadline that are trying to harvest big corporations,
harvest filthy clicks from.
Yes, this has been misconstrued as SAG just sort of arbitrarily throwing out waivers to people, but it's because they're following the guidelines that they set in place.
Okay, well that
it's proof that they're not asking for really that much. If these lesser productions can do it.
In my humble opinion, I think that the people entertaining us should be
clowns.
Well, clowns are paid. I'm talking about like
they should be doing it pro bono, is what you're saying?
I'm saying
I just meant like face paint in a funny way.
No, I'm saying the people entertaining us should be like I don't want to. I'm thinking of a gentle word to say slave, but I can't think of one.
Yeah, it's almost as if there isn't. It's almost as if there isn't a gentle version of that word. It's just that's the only version we came up with.
Oh, that sucks for the BDSM community.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that like.
Oh, you want gentle slave play? Too bad.
Yeah, I don't think we should really be paying them that much. I think that like if you're a writer or an actor, like I don't want to give you any residuals. I don't want to, you get the gist. Screw them.
They shouldn't have a minimum. They should have a maximum, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I think they should all live in the same house. Like we should build a temple for our actors,
and they all live there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a bad idea.
Like a temple where they do worship, or who are they worshiping? Or
I think that making the movie is an act of worship.
Yeah. But pretty soon on TV, The Chosen might be the only thing we'll be able to watch. So look forward to that episode of TV Tuners.
Yeah, you're gonna have to read the Bible now.
I mean.
I've been reading the Bible page by page every night.
Also, 10 TV points if you can guess where The Chosen is being filmed.
Georgia?
Think a little farther west.
Arkansas?
Okay, maybe a lot farther west.
Hollywood?
China?
No,
the Guangxi province?
Further east than California, Kyo.
Utah?
Texas.
That's right.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's a Mormon film.
I actually don't know if it's a Mormon show or not. I haven't really seen anything. I haven't heard anything about this show other than this one moment. But
the Mormons are finally
I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot about it.
Mitt Romney, president.
Well, first they took over the special forces and intelligence community. Now they're going to take over the media.
The Mormons.
This is how they win. In other union news,
okay,
Cartoon Network and Warner Bros. Animation production staff filed to unionize.
Nice.
Wow, if only they had done this while Martin Croaks was still alive. Rest in peace.
Who's that?
That was a guy who voiced Zorak and Moltar, and he also made it possible for them to reuse the animations for Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and actually animated cells of his own in the style of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Oh.
And he basically died in penniless.
Can we dig up his like coffin and put some money in there?
No, I don't think.
I think that should be part of the union's position.
Yeah, make them
66
pay.
The 66 employees that make up Warner Bros. Animation and the 22 from Cartoon Network have filed a union election petition. So
good on them.
They'll be going to
Cartoon
a vote.
Network is they've been really bad about paying people. Like the voice actor for Frylock was homeless for quite some time.
Oh my god!
Right.
Yeah.
And as you might expect, since under the reign of the dreaded Zaslav, a large round of layoffs have been affecting both of the companies, which is probably what spurred this to happen in the first place. Especially since a huge amount of the streaming of their animation on HBO Max just disappeared without notice to any of its creators.
Yeah, they should go on like double strike, honestly.
Right.
What was that thing people were talking about a while ago? Like a general strike? We should do that in the whole country.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, this isn't even the first animation shop to be suggesting a union vote. Apparently, the Rick and Morty staff, the Simpsons staff, and the Family Guy staff are all also bargaining for a union contract with the Animation Guild.
Now's our time.
Yeah,
Rise up. We only have our chains to lose.
Seriously though, like people should really start talking more about just unioning up.
Yeah, listen, I floated it last week. It's time for the TV Tuners Union, but I don't know if you guys are really on board.
Swanson, we did union up. We just didn't like me and Stair just kind of did that.
I mean, I'm not the boss.
I know, like that's exactly why we didn't include you. Like in the negotiations, we figured we can get like a bigger piece of the pie if we just didn't involve you in the union.
I mean, you understand how that's not how union. That's not a great way to make your union.
It's not a great way.
You should not be excluding other members of the group.
Not a great way, but a way that works for Stairmaster and me.
Yeah. And that's really what matters.
So what if I make my own union, but I give more concessions than your union?
I think it'll... I don't know. As long as we don't get fired, I think I don't care like what you do with your union. Because we got a pretty hot deal. We're making 6 figures.
6 figures of what? Like you're making 6 action figures?
Popcorn.
Yeah, 6 bags of popcorn.
A week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, no popcorn on Sunday because, that's the Lord's Day.
That's
right. Yeah. No popcorn shall I eat. Well, we'll stay tuned for how this animation unionization effort goes along. As always, of course, we are in solidarity with any labor movements.
Yeah, if you want me to come down to your workplace and talk to your workers about unions, just hit me up.
Even if you work at the racism factory.
Yeah, I might like throw like a Molotov cocktail on the way out, but I will talk about unions first.
I feel like even the racism factory deserves some unionized workers because it's really the only way you can combat it.
Yeah. So yeah, union up at your workplace.
Like, once the workers in the racism factory are in a union, they can start talking about why they work at the racism factory.
They can talk about how, like, the racism factory shouldn't exist.
Right.
And then they'll turn it into the, like, auto parts factory instead.
I heard we need some of those.
Yeah, for more cars.
That's a minor improvement.
More cars on the road.
It's true. It's right. It's kind of a lateral move.
When you think about it, car culture sort of is the racism factory, since it did lead to suburban flight.
That's true. Look at Car Talk.
Yeah, you know what? I want more cities that have, like, parking lots everywhere and no public transit.
Yeah, more
Let's
cities where you
Houstonify the world.
I like cities that have no sort of walkability to them. I like being forced to drive.
Me too, Swanson.
With a mass of people who are also forced to be on the road.
I like living in a labyrinth as well.
That would be fun.
No,
Then if people are, then if like you run into a mysterious man who's like, "I've heard you have a mysterious power. Is that true? It would please me." You could just, like, dive into the side alley, and he won't be able to catch you, even if he can stop time or some shit.
I mean, Stair, have you ever, like, gone for a long walk into a suburban area? It's actually a labyrinth.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it's fucked.
I was just trying to navigate going to a festival today.
I had to do that for a living when I worked at the post office.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
And then they asked me to quit because I was taking too long.
Like, they came to you.
My ass is not
begging
making
you.
it out of the hood, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess I was sort of a baby for accepting that. I should have made them fire me.
It's true. You shouldn't accept when someone tells you to quit unless you really want to.
He wanted to quit.
It's like someone walks in and says, "Hey, you gotta quit," and you're like, "Okay."
So yeah, more cars, more Minotaurs. I really just want our country to be the best it can be.
That's a good slogan if you're running for president in 2024, Kio.
The Sunday at Monster Truck Madness. Truckosaurus versus the Minotaur.
More cars, more Minotaurs this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be president, guys.
Anyway, that's it for the news, guys. So there's really only one thing left for us to talk about.
Oh, we're already...
We watched the show, and now we're going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, the show.
My
Batman,
Adventures
the
with
animated
Superman
series.
is the latest DC adaptation of popular character by the name of Superman?
Whoa.
The story, as you may have heard, follows Clark Kent, who is building his secret identity as Superman while exploring his own mysterious origin, as well as Lois Lane, who is on her way to becoming a star reporter whom Clark has a crush on, and vice versa. Teaming up with photographer Jimmy Olsen, the trio break the stories that matter and save the day against the many villains in the city of Metropolis. Did My
That's
Adventures
right.
with Superman take you up, and away, or did it leave you tied to the train tracks waiting for your superhero to arrive?
Well, first off, they made
Yeah.
Lois look like Casca. Second off,
It's
you
true.
think that the show would be like from Jimmy Olsen's perspective or Lois's from the title.
Yeah, like
Right, but it's just Superman.
Like, who's saying this?
Who is
Yeah.
my?
Yeah.
Who's my? It turns out, I guess it is
Clark.
just Clark Kent. It is just Kal-El.
So it's his own adventures with himself?
Yeah, he's like how I became Superman. This isn't like
Listen, you gotta know. You gotta learn how to go on adventures with yourself,
That's true.
fellas.
That's true.
it's true. You know, it's a self-examination sort of deal. I mean, maybe it's about like maybe you could argue it's Lois Lane talking, but like the focus character is Superman.
Yeah. No matter how much the internet has gone insane over this iteration of Lois Lane.
Oh, they're going wild. They're going wild.
Well, yeah, they made her a spicy Latina tomboy.
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna say
it's all over.
They made Lois Lane look like Casca.
Look, I understand this. Like, I just haven't been online. I just needed to verify that, like, this is...
And because he's Superman, Clark Kent is already built like Guts.
Yeah, he kind of does look like Guts, too, in this.
Imagine if Guts was voiced by Jack Quaid. I'll actually ask that question first, because there's another character whose voice I find interesting as a choice. How do we think Jack Quaid does here as Superman? Or I guess Clark Kent, since he mostly does Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it gets enough to do as Superman. Voice acting wise, I mean.
I guess it's fair since he's not really Superman yet, right? At least in these two episodes.
Do we want to rate his grunting? His Dragon Ball Z roars?
I guess when it comes to him being Clark Kent, he's pretty good.
Yes.
As you would, because I mean, I guess that's just sort of his deal anyway.
Yeah.
Superman, I guess it's like results TBD.
Yeah, I think for me, Superman's always going to be George Lazenby, or whatever that guy's name was.
The animated series guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. This does feel a lot like the animated series, which is good. That's a good thing. Also, I should mention this has a very odd release structure, which is that it premieres on Adult Swim and then shows up the next day on Max.
That is bizarre. Also, I would never imagine this being on Adult Swim.
Yeah, there's zero adult content. Like, Superman doesn't even get a black eye. He doesn't say damn.
Yeah. I guess originally this was going to just show up on Cartoon Network, and they were like, no, put it on Adult Swim.
You didn't talk about, talk about how hard he is, ever.
These rappers hate me because I'm hard. Than any steel.
But yeah, we get introduced to our boy here.
As a boy.
And it's like the first time he gets his powers.
It sort of make it look like he's got the Speed Force.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is
I don't like that stylistic choice.
He does save this car from running into a tree, and then the car just drives off.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, holy shit, what just happened?
Yeah, this show has a weird flow to it. I mean, like, plotting and animation-wise, I think. I don't really like how the characters move.
Yeah, animation-wise, I feel like I could use some more.
It feels like Invincible, but worse.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I've definitely felt watching this, is that, like...
I mean, the art style itself is fine. I guess the character designs are okay, besides Deathstroke.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to make Deathstroke like a anime rival character.
I guess you can make him Bishi, but you still got to give him kind of a tough voice.
Right.
Maybe a Scar.
Instead of here where he's voiced by Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
He's voiced by Chris Parnell, who his whole entire acting career... He sounds like James
from Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... Chris Parnell is trying something different than when he voices Cyril or Jerry or any other sort of ineffectual male characters. But it is his voice still.
Well, I digress. He doesn't show up yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, Superman. So Clark is like, what? Wow. And then we cut 10 years later.
He wakes up and he's jacked. This dude's just huge.
And he breaks his alarm clock.
Yeah, there's a running gag where he just keeps breaking things, and Jimmy's just like, so what happened with our alarm clock? That's like the third one this week.
And he can't just say, I'm really buff for some reason, because he's got to pretend to be hobbled.
Sorry, I'm
Okay,
a huge
like,
himbo.
being really buff doesn't usually break alarm clocks.
Oh, well, clearly you haven't been going to the right gym, Keo.
Yeah, you have a Keo. If you're not ripping the faucet off every time you try to like wash your hands, bro, you're not lifting enough.
Also, this depiction of Superman not being able to control strength bodes very poorly for their sex life.
True. I guess we're assuming,
As opposed to Man of Steel Superman, who fucks good and fucks hard.
I guess we're assuming that this Clark Kent is virgin.
Yes, like, clearly. How, like...
Do you think he got heat vision from getting a boner, like in Smallville?
No, I don't. Well, who knows? That part has not arrived yet.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Smallville was a Warner Brothers show about teenage Clark Kent in Smallville, Kansas. And each week, like, kryptonite gas would give people superpowers, and he would have to fight them.
Yeah.
And then one week, he's got a boner from his teacher, and that's how he unlocked his heat vision.
So it's like a really heavy-handed, like, metaphor for, like, puberty or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, Keo, this was, like, early aughts.
Okay.
Yeah, this was 2000. This was it started pre 9/11.
Okay. Oh, was that about? It was that far back?
Yeah, and then it ended pre-Obama. I'm pretty sure.
I think it ended post-Obama, but maybe it didn't. I don't know.
It went on long enough to be concurrent with Heroes.
Yeah, it ran a very long time, and it's
it ended on 2011.
It ran 10 seasons.
How the?
And it's actually post 9/11. It's October 16th, 2001.
Barely.
Yeah, so
barely. It just probably the first new show to air after 9/11. Anyway, Smallville is sort of the precursor to Netflix shit programming because for those 10 seasons, he never fucking wears a Superman suit, and in the last episode, he puts it on.
I feel doesn't Batman show up in Martian Manhunter in those last seasons? And they're
maybe. I've never watched that show much.
Yeah, I only watched the early seasons.
But I know the Green Arrow shows up, I think, in later seasons.
Like the CW Green Arrow?
No, that hadn't happened.
Oh, that'd be based.
No, it's like regular like comic book Green Arrow adaptized into this.
Oh yeah,
this
Lex Luthor.
This Superman in
is
particular is maximum virgin. He's like next to a girl. He's like, whoa. That's crazy.
Whoa, women? What's that all about?
How old are the characters in this show, by the way?
They're supposed to be 20. They're supposed to be in their 20s, but Lois and Clark don't seem to know how to talk to the opposite sex.
Yeah, they seem to be. I think they're in their early 20s. No, I think Lois is intimidated by this huge slab of meat.
Yeah.
That just shows up in her face.
Who could kill 100 men.
Right. Who could kill 100 men, but is also very kind and gentle and is wearing a donut bib when they first meet. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you told me that these characters were high schoolers, I would definitely instantly believe you.
Well, that would make more sense, but... Well, that's the thing. They're kind of cargo culting anime, which is predominantly high schoolers.
Yeah.
Trying to navigate the bizarre emotional reality of romance.
That's true. You definitely get some pretty hard anime vibes, not just from the art style, but the structure too.
Right. Well, you can also tell that this lives in a fantasy world where there could be 3 interns for a newspaper.
Who also live in an apartment.
Who are able to survive.
Who can afford to live in apartments.
Without the help of their parents. Well, we don't know about Jimmy.
In a heavily populated city like Metropolis.
Yeah, they basically live in a utopia.
Yeah. True. But yeah, we get introduced to these mech thieves. They were like, what should Superman fight in this first episode? How about we do some mechs?
Let's have him fight the Evangelion.
And we get the main mech lady, who we find out later is a supervillain known as Livewire. She's not yet become that, and is battling. Has took these mechs and is like, listen, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do. We're gonna sell these off, but no one wants to buy. Also, these mechs come with the government should think this through, I think.
I don't think the government built these mechs.
Yeah, the government built these mechs and they were stolen.
They found these in a space hole. Like, they found them in the space dumpster next to Rita Repulsa.
They found them in the space dumpster and gave them buttons that you just press. Like, they're not even
Oh, yeah, they sent them to Tesla.
If you told me Elon Musk made these, it would make way more sense why they're so easy to just turn on and off.
Well, if these were Tesla robots, they'd be attacking the children.
Oh, true. I mean,
yeah.
Are these main
and
characters?
Fire trucks.
Maybe they're children.
Yeah, they would like do like an epic dab and then like crush a child.
And then just throw a fire truck at another fire truck.
And if you posted about it on Twitter, it would get deleted. But yeah, we learn that Jimmy is a conspiracy theorist. He keeps saying that aliens are real. And I mean, yes, he's correct because one is his roommate. But he's like the fun kind, where it's not anything evil that he's peddling.
He hasn't become a Hotep yet.
Yeah.
Which will probably be the season 3 plotline.
He becomes like the
Imagine
the
if it's just Lex Luthor is just like, Jimmy, have you heard about Project Alpha? And it's just like the wildest conspiracy shit.
Have you heard the tale of Yakub? Jimmy becomes a Hotep and he becomes Black Manta.
Imagine if Lex Luthor in this universe is just like a dude with a podcast. Like
no.
He's just a...
I mean, that Swanson, Spider-Man already did that.
Did they?
Yeah, with J.K. Simmons.
Oh, right,
Not J.K. Simmons. No, with J.
Jonah Jameson having a podcast.
Yeah, it was basically Alex Jones in the MCU.
Just imagine
yeah, well, I mean, Lex Luthor is more... I'm thinking Lex Luthor is more like a Joe Rogan type.
Exactly. Imagine if Joe Rogan was just like... if Lex Luthor was like, you ever see a gorilla? Like, go to town.
And he posts some videos of Gorilla Grodd.
But yeah, Lois has this story about these missing mechs, and her boss, Perry White, is like, no.
Don't care. He's like, I don't really care about any of this, like, superhero stuff. Like, just leave me alone. You're just an intern. Shut up.
Listen, you're just an intern, and I'm running a failing medium.
Well, Lois isn't an intern. She's employed. She's just in charge of the interns, because she's, like, entry level.
What?
Well, in the second episode, she says that she's an intern.
What?
Stair, you made that up.
No, I think Swanson.
No,
made
I
that
think
up.
you took... Stair took what Lois says to Jimmy as a serious thing instead of a joke.
Oh, I'm sorry for believing women.
She's saying that she is the senior intern because she's been there longer than Jimmy,
okay.
which is why she's Jimmy's boss. They are the same. They have the same position.
Yeah, I was struggling to pay attention because of how the animation disturbed me.
Oh, it disturbed you?
It's true.
No, well,
I don't think it's disturbing or anything. I just think it's flat.
It's not great.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the animation on this one. And also, I really wanted to see like somebody like get hyper violent, like in Invincible.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing that Invincible has going for it that this one doesn't, which is that things will quickly burst into hyper violent action, and you can tell that like that's where they're spending their money.
Yeah.
Here, the action scenes are just kind of there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, once you've seen these programs that show like this, slightly, I don't want to say it's realistic, but you know what I mean. Like, if they're that powerful, and there should be some carnage happening. Well,
right. Well, I think the thing is, Invincible has stakes.
Well, it has
half of all the 99% of the superheroes introduced in the first episode die.
I mean, I wouldn't really call that stakes because like.
But there's like a threat.
Yeah, I know that. But you're not invested in in those characters particularly.
Okay, but there's like a sense of tension.
Yeah, there's a sense of tension. That's true. I'm saying,
that it's not present with this robot plot.
Yeah, I mean, there can be stakes if the main characters aren't constantly dying, but what I'm saying is, like, the action is more believable when, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're also trying to do different things, right? Invincible is telling, like, one sort of linear story, or sort of...
But the thing is, that sense of violence, that those deaths do make it seem more dangerous for Mr. Invincible when he
That
fights.
is true, even though you know he's not going to actually be murdered.
My Adventures with Superman is trying to do, like, a classic WB animated show feel, I feel like.
It is, but
as opposed
it
to
looks
Invincible with that.
It looks too similar to Invincible, where I can't shake the feeling that this is too, like...
Yeah. How would you have felt if this looked like Rick and Morty?
I would not watch it for TV tuners. I would have picked the other show.
Stair would have watched, let me check my notes here, Secret Invasion.
Oh, yes. I mean, yes, I would. If it looked like Rick and Morty.
If this looked like Rick and Morty, I would be just in awe. I would be completely stunned.
Just imagine Superman in the Rick and Morty style.
Yeah, I'm picturing it right now. I don't like it.
How you feel?
Now, I feel like Superman and Rick and Morty are like matter and antimatter. Like irony versus sincerity.
It's life and anti-life.
Yeah.
Anyway, these mechs get unleashed and Superman goes and has to save the day. Although he's not really Superman at the moment. He doesn't have a costume. He's just wearing a hoodie. But he does save the day, sort of.
He beats up the robots. Lois turns them off.
Day is saved.
Livewire's like, huh? Whoa.
Yeah, and she leaves. And everyone's like, who is this mysterious flying guy? And by everyone, I mean Lois Lane.
I'd be pretty...
Because Perry doesn't publish the story.
I'd be pretty upset if Superman's, like, foiled my plans. I'd be like, what? Who's this guy again?
Yeah. I'd be like, ooh, I'm getting revenge on that guy.
I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why is that guy flying? What the hell? How's that? Huh?
Yeah, and people are way too sort of just okay with the flying dude.
What, is this going to turn out to be that the Justice Society has been a thing in this universe?
Okay.
I don't know. Everyone doesn't
Like,
seem to be
Superman's
acting as if
gonna
superheroes exist.
Okay, that's one thing that's a little bit like... I don't like it, is where it's kind of ambiguous how like public people with powers are in this program. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We already know they're doing the multiverse thing, the crossover thing.
How do we know that?
Because Deathstroke is here and Amanda Waller. Deathstroke was originally a Batman villain. Amanda Waller is like associated with Suicide Squad and...
True, but I guess you could just do whatever you want if it's just its own little universe. Like, it's not like it's not like over at Warner Brothers they're printing licenses to make more animated shows right this second.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is though is the characters react to this in a certain way, and I'm wondering if that's because like, you know, they're just people with powers and that's just a thing, or they're just kind of going with the flow. I don't really know exactly because they don't really expand on that too much.
It's true. But yeah, the episode ends with them the mech story being published. Although they don't show anything about this guy that they dubbed Superman. But Lois is determined to find stuff. And then we get this Zeta Gundam ass ending credit sequence.
Yeah. Well, it's very... Yeah, it's like I said, they're cargo culting anime. Very hard with this credit sequence. Did you see this, Keo?
You see this shit?
Hey, did you get a look at this? Get a look at this?
I think I might have skipped it. So you might...
I just saw 2 frames of it. It's like, no.
This is Zeta. It's a very Zeta Gundam closing sequence. It's Jimmy Olsen just walking in motion, and like pictures are pictures of him and Lois and Superman are like flashing by.
Does it
like a picture reel?
Does it say "I can't help believing you"?
No, they don't. They lost the right to that.
DC lost the rights to it.
They can't do that in America. Yeah, they can't do it in the American release, unfortunately.
DC, okay.
Damn.
DC Comics for adults.
Yeah, unfortunately, the ending. I don't foresee a situation where the closing sequence is going to be as brutally ironic as it gets in later episodes of Zeta Gundam.
Oh, there's always a chance.
True. The second episode involves Superman finding out more about his origins, including getting a message from Bardock.
Yes.
No, wait, I think I got my... Hold on. Oh, sorry, Jor-El.
Oh, that's a much less cool
Although
name.
Jor-El does look suspiciously like Bardock, the last of the Super Saiyans here, in that he has an eye patch. That's it.
Well, I mean, technically it's not an eye patch if it's transparent. I mean,
I guess it's
Scouters,
true.
I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, yeah, this episode, I think, is even weirder than the first one. The first one's like an alright, just like, alright, this is what the show's all about. This one is like, so here's Superman's origins, and now he's in the costume, and also Deathstroke is here. And he's voiced by Chris Parnell.
And Amanda Waller. For 3 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like a tease. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, Deathstroke is here. He's in this episode. And crucial to the fight sequence that happens in it.
Deathstroke, Mr. Bad Guy of Teen Titans.
Yes.
And also guy who
he's even going by his bad guy name from Teen Titans, Slade.
And also famous for just being the guy who can beat up Batman in a fight.
Right. And
No gimmicks.
Here he's fighting with Livewire. And their battle and Superman gets involved. And I'll be honest, I did check out a little bit in the second episode.
I didn't like the gimmick that they can't understand what Jor-El is saying.
Yeah, he's speaking Kryptonian, so they have no idea what he's saying. And even when Clark goes into not the Phantom Zone, but like the Memory Zone.
The Memory Palace.
Yeah. Even when he goes into there, he still can't understand what Jor-El's saying.
He's speaking very passionately, so I assume
fine.
he's saying something very important.
Yeah.
One can only hope.
He does get his costume, and he gets
he gets a Sailor Moon sequence.
It's true. Yeah, he really does. Meanwhile, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen are looking for more info on Superman, as well. So
they go to the sewer level.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And they eventually get involved in this showdown that's going on between Livewire and the organization that she works for, which is headed by, I guess, it's headed by Slade Wilson. Who, Stair, do you want to describe what Slade looks like in this show compared to normal?
Not cool.
Well,
I mean, he
doesn't have a cool mask, for one thing.
True.
He doesn't have an eye patch.
Right. Instead of being like a white-haired sort of older man,
yeah,
he
he's
seems
blonde.
to be...
He's got a bob in the front, over the left eye. And you got to lift it up in the back.
Yeah.
And he's got
very
big
look.
blonde eyebrows.
He kind of reminds me of like Leon Kennedy.
Yes, he does look like a worse Leon Kennedy.
Yeah, it's very different. I've never imagined Slade Wilson as like a Dreamboat character.
And he's supposed to be like...
But
once again, why is Slade Wilson here, and why does he have to be sexy?
He's supposed to be like a nasty man, like a man you don't want to...
He's supposed to be like a soldier of fortune.
Yeah, nasty soldier.
Like, imagine if they made Bane sexy.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be like a nasty soldier in the anime way that a nasty soldier is nasty. Except they don't do like the anime thing where he does something truly despicable and you're like, that's a nasty guy even though he's hot.
I mean, he does electroshock torture a woman.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
during his first, like when he's here, he just like turns on this lady, and you're like, yeah, that's probably the right course.
Yeah, he's.
I guess
he doesn't come across that evil. He
Yeah.
comes across like morally dubious, really.
Right. Yeah, especially since he does help Superman defeat this lady.
Tangentially.
Yeah. But yeah, she has this like suit that has a power crystal that's sort of like the robots that Superman was fighting. Slade damages that when they're fighting, and Superman is able to like stop her.
Well, it
from
almost
blowing up
ruins
the
the day. Really,
Yes.
when you think about it, because it goes out of control and she starts like becoming the death orb in the sky.
Oh yeah, true.
And
He
Superman
does-
has to fly inside her pain field
Yeah,
to fix it.
he has to take damage. Damaged Superman. Punished Superman.
Okay, so we've got an ongoing storyline here in these 2 episodes that it's clearly ongoing,
Yes, true.
but there's no clear antagonist.
I mean, I guess the connection is Livewire, who's in both episodes.
Yeah, but she gets captured, so I don't know what she's going to do from there.
Yeah, I mean, this was a
It doesn't seem like
two-parter
she's
that
the main
debuted on the same.
antagonist.
It is a two-parter that debuted on the same night, so I guess that's why they were trying to have the same protagonist in both, or antagonist in both episodes. But it doesn't really feel like a two-parter.
And it doesn't feel. I don't think there's going to be like a climatic showdown rematch between Superman and Livewire.
Yeah,
Like, they might fight again, but it's not going to be like the big
they
deal.
do not develop these villains at all, and it really takes you out of it. I honestly, I couldn't care much less about these guys.
Yeah. And I mean, the fight's all right. It's a fun Superman-esque way of diffusing the situation.
Yeah, it's fine. It's passable. It's I don't know. There's not that.
Why couldn't we just get Lex Luthor?
I feel like they're saving it for some reason.
Maybe BVS spoiled the.
It's possible.
Pot.
Or they're just like, they're going to introduce them and like, they're hedging their bets on getting a second season. And they're like, Lex Luthor's going to be that one and that one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and the only recurring bad guy is Slade Wilson. Unless
Yeah,
Perry
but
White's going to turn out to be a supervillain.
I don't know how often they're updating like who's in what now, because I mean, there's only 4 episodes of the show out. And there's like 10 episodes altogether, so there's plenty of time for more villains to show up. I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, there's a bunch of B-listers as guests.
So,
So I guess there are going to be some monsters of the week.
yeah. And I mean, that's what the show should be, probably.
If you're going to have
But
a
Jimmy
myth
gets
arc,
clear
don't make
photos.
don't make it this.
Yeah. Jimmy
Don't
gets
make it
clear photos
Deathstroke.
of Superman, so Perry runs the story. There's a sort of funny bit where Perry looks at the photos for a split second and then just freaks the fuck out. He's the only one
Yeah,
who's actually has a reaction to a flying man. Which leads me to believe that that's not common in this world.
Presumably.
Because Perry considers it to be news. It's not common knowledge, at least.
But, like, how often does DC do a thing where Superman isn't one of the first superheroes? There's that one storyline about the secret society of superheroes that the Justice League butts heads with. But other than that...
Yeah, it's usually Superman's the first. I mean, sometimes they do Batman has been around longer than Superman.
Yeah.
He's in hiding. He just hasn't been noticeable.
He's just not high profile.
Yeah.
I mean,
But Superman's the first.
LimeWire or whatever her name is just kind of casually
Yes.
has this technology.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, now
LimeWire
she-
and her rival Groove Shark.
Rest in peace.
Speaking of which, Livewire gets, like, merged with the crystal shards or whatever,
Yeah.
and is now in Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, she's pretty much, yeah, being tortured by Slade.
What a nasty man.
And that's like where we end this two-parter here, and where we end our coverage of it. So I gotta ask the question: what do you all think? Final thoughts? Is this a what do you think of this?
Oh, I really wanted to like it. It's just a little iffy. It's a bit too iffy, is what I'm saying. Come on, why is Deathstroke the villain? Like, what's he gonna do against Superman?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit thin here. It didn't really get me invested in any of the action. I thought that the character interactions were really cute, though. But that's...
Yeah, they're cute.
That's about it.
I like the main trio.
It's like sprinkles on plain bread.
Yes. I like the trio here. It's just that the rest of the world feels like nothing.
Yeah, and I'm going to withhold judgment until we get the Jimmy Olsen focus episode.
Right.
See how they handle that.
I mean, he should be the character that we're seeing, right? Like, it should not just be that Superman... We didn't need Superman's origin, right? Everyone knows it. We didn't need that.
I mean, I could conceive of some child happening upon this program and being a little confused. So,
whoa, what's Superman's deal? But I mean, even
then,
kid,
we don't actually get the origin until like episode 2.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. We don't need that at second episode. This should be Jimmy's perspective, because then you have a normal guy,
yeah,
or Lois.
Yeah, one of the two. Pick one, and then
right. We need a Mai in here, and it can't be Superman.
I feel like they were planning on doing that, but they chickened out or something. Because why would you call it My Adventures with Superman if Superman's the focus character?
Are we the Mai?
Honestly, Superman and Lois is more accurately titled.
Yes. If only there hadn't already been some show that stole that.
Yeah, it's Lois and Clark.
Maybe it's like, is it like a selfish thing? My Adventures with Superman.
Mine. My Man of Steel.
They're for me.
Greedy Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I wonder if Jimmy and is his name Jimmy? I forgot his name already.
Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, Jimmy and Lois are going to be fighting over Superman's adventures, and they're going to have like a bitter rivalry.
A love triangle.
Yeah, a love triangle, bitter rivalry, just extremely intense.
Yeah,
which doesn't seem like it because all the promotional material shows them really getting along, and it's very, very cute,
having a good time.
Yeah,
and if you were going to focus on Clark making Superman like the main guy, I get it. You have Jack Quaid, you're going to use him. Give us more world building stuff like the Donut Lady. Like, just give us little characters here and there who aren't attached to any comic book thing. Who are just, they fill out the world.
Make us care about this.
This
stupid city, by the way, because I don't care about it.
Yeah, Metropolis is supposed to be like his home for a reason, because it's like a vibrant city that has its own sort of built-in mythology. It's not Gotham, but it's the next best thing.
So what you're saying, it should be more like Daredevil. Netflix's Daredevil.
Yeah, we need Lex Luthor being like, I run Metropolis.
Yeah, there needs to be a plot line where he's investigating landlord abuses on 8th Street or whatever.
Yeah, unironically.
Could you imagine being like a crooked landlord and Superman shows up?
Well, that is like issue 2 of Superman.
Yeah, just imagine it. Like, you're over there slumlording it up, and Superman's like, hey, cut that out.
Really, we just need a Silver Age Superman, or Golden Age Superman, where he's just beating up the coal mine owners and landlords.
And all he can really do is leap. He can't run. He can't fly.
Well, he can throw cars at people.
Yeah, true.
Even though it's technically kind of pointless.
I don't know. It gets the message across real well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
wish-
I think I'm going to give a reluctant tune out.
Yeah, I wish they could give us more, but there seems to be some kind of like Superman curse where they.
Sort of like King Arthur movies.
True.
Yeah, there's just something about this character where people just. Maybe there's some kind of mandate where they cannot be too ambitious with it or something. I don't know.
Too interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, don't make it interesting. We don't want people liking Superman. Anyway, I guess that's a tune out on my adventures with Superman. Perhaps our saddest tune out of the year.
By far, yes.
Well, definitely for a certain definition of sad.
Our most reluctant tune out of the year.
Yeah.
But that'll all about do it for this week's episode of the show. If you're listening and you're like, hey, what if I made them watch Smallville?
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess you're legally allowed to do that if you go over to buymeacoffee.com/tvtuners. A single coffee gives you a single episode for us to discuss anything you could think of, be it Smallville, Arrow, Gotham, any of those crappy little shows. I think there was a Krypton one, too, that was on, like, the Sci-Fi Channel. Any of those will do. Or none. As for next week on the pod, we're going to get hijacked. That's right, we're going to be on a plane, and Idris Elba is joining us as we find out what that...
He's going to free us.
We're gonna be trapped on a plane, and Idris Elba is gonna be freeing us, and we're gonna figure out how that works as a TV show next week. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
I found him.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster has superpowers and he's a hero?
That's right.
Wow, he actually...
Yeah, you can. I'm doing the thing right now.